Hi, I'm Whitney Espich, the CEO of the MIT Alumni Association, and I hope you enjoy this digital production created for alumni and friends like you.
Okay, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining today's Career Lunch and Learn programs, Public Speaking and Presenting for Impact, being brought to you by the MIT Alumni Association and is sponsored in part by the MIT Federal Credit Union, MIT Professional Education, and MIT Sloan Executive Education. My name is Erin Hollis. I'm from the MIT Alumni Association, and I'll be serving as your moderator today. As a reminder, our webcast is being broadcast live. Throughout the program, you may submit your questions using the Q&A feature in your toolbar. For all our listeners joining via YouTube, you may add your questions to the comments field. All questions will be held until the end of the presentation. I'm delighted today to introduce our speaker, Jyoti Singhvi. Jyoti has 30 years of experience as a speaker and a presenter, and she has developed comprehensive training programs in presentations, communication skills, public speaking skills for executive and professionals, and employee confidence and retention. She has presented her research at MIT, Harvard, and interviewed and hosted CEOs and executives from Starbucks, JCPenney, Bridgewater Associates, Tiger 21, Birchbox, and 60 Minutes. A serial entrepreneur, Jyoti is CEO of an ed tech firm that trains corporate employees in communication skills. She has founded a couture storytelling fine jewelry company, Jyoti New York, and has worked in business development, strategic partnerships, CRM, e-commerce, innovation, digital and traditional marketing at Cartier, IBM, and KPMG. She has earned her master's degree in public administration from Harvard and an MBA from MIT. And with that, Jyoti, I'll turn things over to you.
I'm unmuted. Hi, thank you so much, Erin. This is fantastic. Hello, everyone. It's so good to be here with you. First of all, thank you for your time. This is, lunch hour in some places and, waking up and getting to work in some places and evening some places. So whatever you are doing, you stopped it and you are here with us. So I appreciate that a lot. I also start by apologizing. This is not my real voice. I'm just recovering from a cold. So I sound a little bit more hoarse than I normally am. All right, so let's dive right in. The critical but often ignored skill to maximizing success. And what is that? It's communication skills. A lot of us work really hard. You guys, most of you went to MIT. You're very, very smart. And you're also successful, very successful. But then there is just that one thing. Sometimes it comes and it's kind of invisible. We don't even know what it is, right? It's just like you're not getting there, right? And that silent thing, which shouldn't be so silent because you should be speaking more, is communication skills. All right. I just said many keys to success, and communication skills is one of them. If I may please remind you, and I'm going to remind myself to turn off your cell phones, and please kindly close any tabs or windows on your computer screens or your phones so that you can get the most out of this training. I try to put in as many pertinent things as possible. Again, we are here together for a little bit of a shorter time. So I am not able to cover everything, but I'll try my very best to get to as many things as possible. This material, although it's just communication skills, it's weeks and months of content material which I could cover. So to condense it into just today's training, it's just a little challenging, but we'll see. All of you, a lot of you also were very kind to send in your questions over the survey. So they were so helpful. It has helped me guide today's conversation a little bit. Of course, we can't get to everything because of time, but later on, please feel free to ask your questions. All right, so, this is not just me saying, a lot of other corporations, great corporations, speak about this. So this is a quote from McKinsey & Company. Analytical skills are important, but long-term success depends on interpersonal communication and long-term relationships to facilitate effective teamwork. These soft skills are often undervalued. And this is by McKinsey and Company. Exactly just what I said. A lot of us pay attention when we are growing in our careers or even through the education to that hard work, the analytical skills, producing the results, which is fantastic. We have to do that. But when we don't get the communication going in so many different forms, then challenges arrive. Okay, when also I speak, I know the title of today's talk was public speaking and presentations, but anything that we say, it applies both to public speaking and communication, but also interpersonal communication, which is just so important in our everyday lives, at work, at home, in our personal lives, in our communities, everywhere. So this is what we're going to cover today. Why not communicating in a strategic fashion blocks success? Or if you do it the reverse way, it will increase your chances for success. And we'll talk about that. What are the pro tips to communicate more effectively? Keys to communication, which are often overlooked. Mostly people don't talk about it, but I know you guys are quite advanced here. Actually, I have a pretty mixed group of people judging from the questions I got in the survey. We have, very advanced, we have intermediate, and we have some starting out. So hopefully you'll find a lot of these tips useful. And then we're going to talk about mindset shifts to communicate with confidence and how to manage that nervousness. Also, I want to say that, public speaking is not something new, right? It's been there for a long time. A lot of the things in public speaking, there's no new research or, earth-shattering things to be uncovered. So as you listen to the conversation today, hopefully some of the tips will be useful to you. But many of the things you've probably already known for a long time, but it's just a matter of how we implement it. So please don't write it off by saying that, oh, I've known it, nothing new, or yeah, I kind of knew it, but let's just start implementing things. And that's going to be, it's going to go a long way. A lot of times also, when I listen to a speaker or to a guru or, somebody I look up to, they would say something about, confidence, or they may talk about hard work, but just the examples they would use or the way they kind of communicate that information, it just hits home, right? We all know a lot of the information, but it just, at that moment of time, you need that little bit of a nudge or a push or just a different way to get to us so that it kind of gets us motivated to get off our chairs and get rolling with that program. So now let me start by asking a question. How many of you guys get nervous? You can answer in the chat box if you like, or you can just kind of think it to yourself, that's fine. But if you can answer in the chat box, I just want to make it interactive so that I know what you guys are thinking. So get nervous, get some kind of consciousness, maybe butterflies, maybe sweaty palms, maybe pounding heartbeats. How many of you guys are maybe concerned about, am I providing enough value to my audience? How many of you guys are concerned about, what is the audience thinking about me? Are they judging me? Are they thinking not so well about me? And if you do, which I see a lot of you guys are putting these things here, if you do, you're not alone. The good thing is you're not alone. And the other good news is that it can actually be fixed. One of the things I want to share here is adults with, and this is from research online, adults with communication and presentation public speaking skills are 15% more likely to be promoted. Now, I feel that this number is kind of low. I'm not going to share the number that I think. I would like to hear from you. What do you think that number is? Adults with better communication skills and presentation and public speaking skills, how much more are they likely to get that promotion or that bonus or just be recognized more? 80%, 75%, 50%, 40%, 75%. I'm just reading the remarks here. 100%, I like it. 90%, 30%, 75%, 75%, 75. A lot of you, 31.85. That's true MIT, very precise. 80%, 80%, 50%, 15%. Okay. So I'm just like gauging, just average. I'm just thinking it's pretty high from what you guys are saying, probably around 60 to 70% if I average this out. I am likely to be fired by incompetent bosses. All right, great. Thank you so much for sharing. I personally think it could be good 40 to 50%. That's from my own experience. But you're absolutely right. It's not 15%. It's like way up there. So that's why I just wanted to hear from you all, because you're so seasoned and I have so much respect for all of you guys. All right. Now, Ray Dalio, the CEO of Bridgewater, he says, beware. He's very, very analytical, very, MIT type, right? Very analytical. Beware of the tremendous price of skimping on quality communication. He's big about teamwork also, and he's big about, self-analyzing our problems, but also communicating within the team and teamwork, etc. So this is a really profound comment from him. And I like to share it because communication skills are normally considered as soft skills. So for a lot of us analytical type people, we kind of sometimes brush them aside, right? Until we find that it's kind of detrimental to what we're doing. All right, so I wanted to start with a little bit of a story of a little shy girl. And this girl was, she was 5 years old, Minnie. And it's not a professional story, but again, I will emphasize this. We're all people. And as you are doing your presentations and your talks, you want to also remember that the people you're talking to are people and you are a person. So you want to involve those, you want to include those personal stories. I'll make the story short and fast so that we can move on. So Minnie was very, very shy, and she goes to a play date, and the play date, it was two girls who are older than her. They're 7 years old, and Minnie is 5 years old. The girls decide not to play with, paper, with dolls that day. They decide to play with paper planes. They rip out paper and play with paper planes. Soon that gets old. They want to do something different. So the older girls, they decide that they're going to rip out paper, make paper balls, and stuff it in Minnie's mouth. And Minnie is completely taken aback. They keep stuffing paper in her mouth. Minnie starts crying, howling. She can't breathe because the paper is blocking the back of her throat and the airway passage. She soon, it's also poking. She's feeling bleeding inside the inner gums. See, she soon passes out. And she's thinking she's gonna die. She passes out. Fortunately, one of the older girls' father comes in, and he gets Minnie to the rescue, and Minnie is saved and survived. But the reason I am sharing the story is very important, because a lot of us have that kind of a conditioning that we are afraid of somebody. Minnie was afraid of the 7-year-olds. We are afraid of something else, our fear of public speaking, or what will people say about me, or will I make a mistake, or will a wrong presentation hold up my promotion, or something. There's fears that we all have, and we hold ourselves back. And that is not only keeping us from protecting ourselves and defending ourselves like Minnie did, it's just killing our future, our potential, our maximum success. This story of Minnie is actually a true story. And fortunately or unfortunately, that Minnie was me. So I have very traumatic memories from that time. And I continued on to be a very shy child. Something changed in 4th grade. I moved cities, and my principal was auditioning for the school play. She picked me out to audition for the school play. I was very, very reluctant, extremely nervous. Again, wanted to cry. That wasn't my thing. I was so shy, never even spoke in class. I did not answer questions or raise my hand until and unless I was really forced by my teachers to do so. So I do get the part, and that was just a turning point in my life, because I'm on stage, I'm going through the rehearsals, and I realized it's not as bad as I had thought in my head to be. Next year, I get another part in a play or a speech or a debate competition, and it just builds up from that little mini audition and some side role that I had gotten, and it builds up into turning me into a confident and articulate person. I wasn't always like this. I am so grateful to my principal for really catapulting me out of my comfort zone, my shell, and throwing me up on stage, literally. Not, she didn't throw me literally, but you know what I mean. And just creating that transformation in my life. If it wasn't for her, I would have been a very shy person, still standing in some corner. Today, I don't mind picking up the phone and calling CEOs of different companies, talking to anybody in any space, any room, about any subject matter. So if I can do it, being such a shy child, any of you can do it, and any of your children can do it, because not only do we suffer, our children also suffer. And unfortunately, given although this training, the skill is just so important, nobody trains us in this. We just kind of falter, figure it out. Half of the times we don't even figure it out. We just, because of our hesitation, we just don't even take that opportunity to speak. And I'm just going to skip through this because Erin went through my background. And I just want to say, now I've been speaking for 30 some years. Am I perfect? No, nobody's perfect. We can always improve. But I do now have the confidence to go up and speak to anybody and anywhere. Okay, so a little bit of humor here. So your job, the boss comes and says, your job is to spot the hardworking employees here. And then do what, boss? Reward them? No, for heaven's sake, just give them more work. So that's what happens when you are hardworking. You just keep getting more work, right? But you are working hard to get the recognition and the rewards for that hard work. I want you to imagine a time when you worked really, really hard for a project. I mean, really hard, like just burned the midnight oil. What happened to you? Like, was the project successful? Did you get the raise, the promotion, the bonus, whatever else you were working on? Did you get that client? Many times the answer is yes, and many times the answer may be no. Let me just talk to you about the story of Sarah. Taking a quick sip of water. Again, when you're speaking or presenting, bring your water with you, because you don't want to be uncomfortable there. You don't want to be choking. You don't want to have a very dry throat. I will emphasize that again. We're all humans. As a speaker or a presenter, you are human, and just be your normal human self. So drink water. Okay, so Sarah, and the Sarah could be anybody. She could be a Ted, she could be a Jack, she could be an Eileen, she could be a John. I mean, it could be anybody, man or woman. She was really working hard for the VP role, and she burned the midnight oil for months together, completely ignored her family, her kids. She used to work till 12 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and then wake up again at 5 a.m. and get to work. There was just so much to be done. And Ted, who was her colleague, who was supposed to work on this project with her, decided to be MIA. He was traveling for other things, and then he took a long vacation, etc. So after working 2-3 strong months of hard work on this project, she shows up today, let's say it's today, she shows up for the client meeting where the big presentation happens. And she's excited, but just really disheveled, just kind of all over the place, because she hadn't slept the night, because she was still working on her presentation and adding data and numbers and analysis and more things to the presentation, the PowerPoint. So she shows up, boss, I'm ready. This is great. Did you get my presentation? Yes, the boss says the presentation is great. Great. Are you ready, Sarah, to present? Sarah's jaw drops. Me, present? And then she goes into this negative self-talk. Well, I don't really present. Not a good presenter. The last time I presented, it wasn't very good. What are they going to think about me? I've worked so hard for my VP role. Can you hear me? Okay, I will speak up. I've worked so hard for that VP role. What's going to happen? So the boss says, oh, you know what, Sarah? I know you're not very comfortable with presenting. Let's see what we're going to do. Well, Ted walks in. Hello. Hi there. How are you? Sarah, you ready with the presentation? Oh, that looks great. Sarah, I know you're not really a great presenter, and I want to make you feel comfortable, but being this good colleague that I am, why don't I go and present this? Well, but Ted, you don't know how to do this. You know how to do this, but you don't know the presentation, the project, because I ended up working on it. Oh, Sarah, don't even worry. I got it. I can wing it. So Ted gives a presentation. He does a phenomenal job. The client loves it. The client buys the product or the project. Everybody is congratulating whom? Ted, right? Nobody really knows Sarah is the one who put the presentation together. Now comes the time for the VP announcements. Who gets the VP role? Ted or Sarah? Ted. Ted gets the VP role. Sarah is completely shattered. She had worked so hard for it, but she made a promise to herself. This one itty bitty little thing, this skill that she didn't have, which is really coming between her and her VP role, she's going to overcome that. And she started working on it and became a really good presenter. There's another small story like that. Jack was working really hard, but nobody really knew what he was doing. Came time, the economy wasn't doing that great. Came time for layoffs. Guess who is going to be laid off? People whom we don't know what they're doing, right? What they're producing. So Jack realized he's going to be at risk. And his boss was kind of nice and he kind of mentioned it to him. So Jack realized that he needs to speak up a little bit more, be out there more. Slowly, he started making his way into presentations and he started speaking a lot more. And people started to understand and appreciate all the great work that Jack was doing. Came time for the announcements, the layoffs. Jack's name was not in the layoffs. Yay, victory! Jack did not get laid off because he had started presenting more and speaking about his work more, and people started realizing the value of it. So how lack of communication blocks our success? Our work does not get recognized. We just saw 2 examples here. There could be so many different examples. We can talk about them later. People don't know what our ideas are, what our work is, what our expertise is. And when we work so hard, if you don't talk about it, then what's the point? We're unable to influence and convince others. Half our job is to do that, right? Influence and convince others. We can't do it. We're at a loss. You need more budget. You need more manpower. You need, a bigger office. You need to get approvals on a particular project. Can't do it. You need to get the client to come on board. You can't do it if you can't speak and influence. Miscommunication happens and our team's productivity lowers, right? So the technology team did not communicate effectively to the marketing team. So something wrong happened for the campaign to be launched because they did not communicate properly. So miscommunication and rework happens. We don't build relationships. We all know that it's important what we know, but it's really important whom we know, right? So building those relationships are so important. We do not get the rewards and raises and promotions and bonuses, which we saw some examples of that. And worst of all, we don't influence our spouse and significant others and kids and family members, right? Because it does impact our real life too. Now, the benefits of developing this skill, I'm going to rush through this. We make speaking second nature. We're not so afraid or hesitant about speaking anymore, whether it's 1 person or 10 people or 5 people or 200 people or 2,000 people. We overcome nervousness, or at least we find ways to overcome nervousness. We become more confident and articulate. In the survey I got back from you guys, articulation was a big thing for many of us, right? We can be verbose, we can go over and over about the same topic, but it's important to kind of put in the more important things and support them and be articulate like that. 1 second. Throat getting very dry. Water. Speak in engaging and effective way. Again, it's not just what we're going to say, which is on our PowerPoint slides, or what we're going to say, even in our head, and we say it in our words. How do we say it in an engaging and effective way? And a lot of you guys had that pointer also. How do I influence others? How do I engage them? How do I motivate them? How do I show them what I'm talking about is of importance? This is the key. And a lot of other things come into play. We're going to talk about that in a bit. You need to be a known expert. If you are just so good at analysis, or if you're just so good at marketing, or if you're just so good at the science aspects of whatever you're doing, you need to be able to share that and share your expertise. You need to, and we can help others with our knowledge, right? This is what I am doing. I've been speaking for 30 years, but I was in different areas and different industries. And I realized that my expertise or my knowledge in communication and public speaking, I can help other people. So I want to do more of that. You guys all have different things that you can help people with. Why don't you take 10 seconds and please type it in there. What is it that you think, your knowledge, you can help other people with? I'm just going to go into the comments here. And also, if you have questions to be asked later on, I think there's a question answer box. You might want to put the questions there, and you can put the comments about the questions that I'm asking right now, just interactive questions here. All panelists. Okay. I don't see. So I repeat my question. What skill do you think, or what is your expertise where you think you can help other people? So you might just want to put it in the chat box. Greater collaboration, we talked about it, greater collaboration. And big ideas come from collaboration. A quick story here. We all know Amazon, right? And Amazon Prime, a lot of us use Amazon Prime. We love it. So one employee of Amazon had that idea that why don't we start something like a membership program where we can have specials for our consumer, and we can also send it to them. We can ship it to them instead of a week or 4-day delivery in 2 days. So everybody said, no, we can't do it. The first idea, or the first response of most ideas, is like this: oh my gosh, we can't do it. We don't have the resources. What a crazy idea. Sometimes people might be thinking. But then some sensible people said, wait a minute. John here has a good point here. What if we step back and see how we can actually maybe make it easier, and maybe instead of 2-day delivery, make it 3-day delivery? Membership idea is a great idea. Let's see how we can implement it. Let's go back to the drawing board and start developing it. So the team jumps in, the idea becomes better and better and bigger, right? And then came Amazon Prime, which is one of the most profitable products or offerings of Amazon. If that one person had been quiet, well, he would not have grown in his career, but then Amazon would have really missed out on this great business opportunity, and their customers too. I mean, as businesses, we're trying to serve our customers. Greater productivity, again, better communication between cross-functional teams within our team, upward management, etc., just leads to greater productivity, right? Again, other skills, influencing others, closing more deals. And closing more deals could be anything. It doesn't just have to be client deals or PE deals or other kinds of deals, but you just know, like, more relationships and more project deals. Sharing the vision and inspiring people. There's definitely financial rewards, and then there's emotional rewards. Well, when people say, Sarah, that was a great presentation, or Jack, that was a great presentation, or Tommy, that was a great presentation, we feel good about it. Recognition is very important for us, right? So those are emotional rewards. Strong interpersonal communication skills, and again, everyday relationships that we build is very important for that interpersonal communication. We learn to use storytelling for impact, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Speak with cross-functional teams and diverse audience. Again, it was also in your comments, in your survey. It is so important to be able to speak with diverse audience who don't think like us, who don't work like us, and not only just at work, but also at home. A lot of our significant others, or our kids, or our parents, they're different personalities. Somebody is an ENTJ, ISFP, right? So we all communicate differently, and we have to kind of be very mindful of, not only because of those personality traits, but also what the people's experiences, what is it that they do? We talked about in the survey also, a lot of things came out about the jargon, right? So the financial people will use a different jargon versus the people in the sciences versus the people in marketing or branding versus the people in ops. So we need to be mindful of not putting our jargon on them, but keeping the conversation just very, very simplified. I will just address this. No, I'll address that in a little bit when I talk about, maybe I'll just address it here. Just somebody had mentioned that, how do I do it without having to recreate my presentation over and over again? How do I speak to different groups of people without recreating your presentation? Well, keep the main tenets of your presentation the same, but sometimes you do have to change it. I have a program not only for professionals and adults, but I also have a program for kids. So just last week, I was speaking to a bunch of middle schoolers and their parents, and the parents are like you, professionals. So I had to tailor this whole conversation, and I had a different presentation with similar content. And I had to change it. I had to change my jokes. I had to change the way I spoke. I had to change my examples. Everything had to be changed. This is just something we have to do it. If you can't, even if you can change a couple of slides, that's helpful because you have customized it to the audience. You know, when we're pitching to a client, a lot of times we change our slides just for the audience. Oh my gosh, we're running out of time. There's so much I can talk. All right, so I'm going to move on. So the fear of public speaking is also known as glossophobia, and 75% of the population is affected by it. So you're not alone. Here is the fear of public speaking support group. They're so afraid that they're not even speaking in the support group. All right, so just to reiterate, this skill is recognized by corporations, universities, schools, everywhere to be very, very critical, but most of us are just left to sink or swim on our own. We're just never trained in it. So we just need to take it upon us to train ourselves. And there's so many different ways to doing it. And I'm going to share some resources towards the end of our conversation here. So please stay till the end. Just quick benefits also for our kids, because you know, we focus as parents so much on our kids. If you don't have kids, excuse me, sorry. But our kids need to speak with more self-esteem. It helps them build confidence. It helps them be more creative and share their ideas. When they share their ideas, they feel a sense of belonging. They feel like they're being heard and they don't feel frustrated. Also in this world of devices, when our kids are constantly on phones and laptops, etc., it's very important for them to be able to build those relationships and communicate with eye contact, with expression, with gestures, and just like communicate normally. Our kids are not, they just try to shy away from that kind of communication. Not be bullied. I was bullied. I could have died. A lot of times our kids don't know, they're too afraid to speak up, and then they are bullied. And bullying could be different levels of bullying. So, so we just need to arm our kids with this also. All right, so the power of voice. According to Maya Angelou, spoken words mean more than what is set down on paper. It takes the human voice to infuse them with deeper meaning. I think we all would agree, right? You could just say it in a monotonous way, or you could say it with using every power of your voice, all the different tenets of your voice, and make the whole message so much more powerful. So the key to a convincing delivery, there's a lot of things, not everything is up here, but I'm going to talk about it. Speed and pace. Somebody talked about this also in the questions in the survey. So a lot of times when we are nervous, or not, we don't even have to be nervous, when we're speaking, we just speak too fast because either we're nervous or that's just our personal style, or we're short of time, like right now I am, or we feel that what we have to say is not of importance to the audience. The audience's time is way much more precious. So we speak too fast to just be done with it, be just done with it, right? But what happens is when we speak so fast, our audience is not able to comprehend and get everything that we're talking about. So we need to speak at a moderate pace. So that is very important. And also that helps us keep our conversation in a conversational tone. Just remember, whom I will repeat, I said this earlier, they're humans, you're humans, and the best type of conversation or best type of communication is very conversational, even if you are speaking in front of 2,000 people in the audience. Then comes the intonation, voice modulation. Erin, did you want to say something? Okay. It is really important. A lot of times our voice is just straight up. You want to make it up and down. You need to kind of go into the meaning of the message. You need to go into softer voice and maybe higher voice. Change it up a little bit just for a little bit more interest, right? And to break it up. Also, please remember that audience, their attention span is short. So if it's just very monotonous, they kind of lose interest. So with your voice, you need to bring that interest back. And also in these kind of conversations, when we're doing a webinar, when you can't see your audience, it becomes very hard for the speaker to see, because I can't see your faces. You know, a speaker usually derives a lot of energy and a lot of feedback from the audience, and then can adjust their presentation accordingly. But this kind of format makes it harder. But what can you do? This is the way of communication in this day and age. A lot of us communicate on Zoom and other types of video formats. Expression is very, very important, even in work settings. We need to bring an expression. How do we bring expression? From our face, our eyes, right? Our voice, and then the choice of words we use. Expressions are really important. I'm going to give a couple of examples later about that. You just need to experience it, experience the feeling, and then bring the expressions. And it comes with practice. Now there are two really important points about pause and emphasis. So again, not speaking in a monotonous tone, and then putting emphasis on things that are really, really important. So let me tell you something that you can do which will completely change the meaning of what you're going to say. It will just add more weight to it. And you know what that is? It's pause and emphasis. I'm actually being a little dramatic here just to kind of work on my pause and my emphasis. You don't have to constantly fill the space with your words. It is very good to just have a few pauses. It could be 1 second, it could be 2, 5 seconds, anything. So for example, let me tell you something really important. Pause. When you do that, you draw their attention. Even if they're thinking about something else, you bring the, oh, she's going to say something really important. Okay, I better listen. Now, this thing, which I call pause, is literally silence, but it will create a lot of drama, and it will create a lot of emphasis about what you're saying. The other way to create emphasis for your audience is to put more weight. Just say that word like either deeper or louder. That adds more weight, along with the pause surrounding it. Think of pause as a parenthesis that surrounds your words. And that just creates a very different format of communication. Think of it like a bold and underline in a nice way, right? Not in a screaming way. Bold and underline because you want to highlight it, and maybe a different color if you were typing it, because you want to draw their attention. So again, all of these things come with practice. If you had a speech written down, see, I paused here. You can perhaps just kind of remind yourself to pause at some important junctures in the beginning. Later on, it will just be very natural. All right, so other keys to successful communication: content. Content is very, very important. You want to put in the best content in there, but then you also want to distill it down based on who your audience is. When you are speaking to the bosses or the executives, they don't need to go into the nitty-gritty and the detail, right? You just want to kind of give them the summary or the key points, right? And the content needs to be adjusted. But content is important because every time you are putting in that content, you want to make sure that, how am I serving my audience, right? It's not about you. A lot of times when we are giving a presentation or a speech or even a conversation, we make it about ourselves. It's not about us, it's about them. We can only influence them if we have been able to communicate with them. So the content has to be adjusted based on the audience. The content has to have, again, a structure. The simplest structure is beginning, middle, and end. And it has to have all the supporting remarks for whatever your topic is. It has to have a build-up, etc. I'm not going into the details of the content, but you kind of get the point. We can do another workshop just on content later. Gestures and keep it conversational. I've mentioned that before. Gestures are so important. A lot of times we're afraid. Our hands are like this. You can't see my hands, like this, or hands behind, or hands in our pockets. That's just not natural, right? We don't talk like that. And that just makes for a very uncomfortable and natural delivery for you and for your audience. So use just normal gestures, like this is normal, but sometimes your gestures can emulate or be a signage of what you're speaking. So for example, good communication skills can really amplify your potential, So my gestures are not normal conversational, but they're adding meaning to what I'm saying. Body language and posture. A lot of that comes with confidence, but just straight up body language, straight posture. And we're going to talk about some mindset shifts, which will also help your body language, because it's all in the mind. As soon as I start doubting how I'm doing or what I'm doing, my body will droop, my shoulders will droop, I will not be like straight up, and just the lack of confidence will just show up, right? So body language and posture is very important. Space, by space, I mean use that space that is given to you. If you're not just standing at a podium, if you're on stage or a boardroom or a meeting room, you want to do a little bit of a pacing, a slow pacing, not too much, not too much. That's just too much and distracting. But you want to go from here to there to there, because that exudes confidence, right? It tells them that you're being confident. It also kind of dissipates that extra nervous energy you may have. And then it allows you to connect with the audience from this side of the room to that in the middle to the other side of the room. So that's really important. I apologize. I'm speaking really fast because I want to get through a lot of material. So now, bring these three things. This is a small little itty bitty package I've created for you that you can always bring. Always bring with you. See, whenever you're meeting anybody, talking to anybody you've never met before, you meet every day, come with your smile. It just does wonders. It just dissolves any kind of tension. It creates connection. Smile is so important. Smile, smile. Everybody smile for me. Smile. Hold it for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Eye contact is so important, right? I can't even tell you the importance of eye contact. I think everybody understands what that does. Again, it exudes confidence. It tells other person that I'm confident, but at the same time, I care about you as a person, to look you in the eye, right? And be confident enough to have a conversation with you. And then energy. Oh, this is so important. Bring your maximum energy. Just last week, okay, so what does energy do to you? It is a huge difference from a mediocre performance to a fantastic performance. You may just talk about exactly everything the same, but that energy level just makes you the boss, right? Shows them you have the confidence, shows them you are excited about that. Last week when I was giving that talk in front of a couple hundred people, I was very sick, and that's why you hear a husky voice here. I was really sick. I was low energy. I was so tired. I couldn't do anything. But I said, I need to bring my best game because I'm here for them. And whatever it is, you just talk to yourself. It's a mindset shift. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to present myself, or I'm going to be in this meeting with my maximum energetic self. And it just does wonders, because when energy is vibration, right? So when you have high energy that you are, projecting, your audience projects high energy back. And that does great things for your own presentation and your energy level. And it helps keep your energy level high. It's extremely important. One of my students, a great speaker in our practices, always had great energy, did a phenomenal job. I wanted to give him standing ovation every time. Came time for the final recital, like everybody else, we get nervous. He got nervous. The energy dropped to 30, dropped by 30%. That's my gauge of it. And the presentation wasn't as stellar just because of that energy. He did everything exactly the same. So remember the C. Take notes. Please write that down. This is very important. It's very simple, very common sense, but a lot of us don't bring it. It's so important. About eye contact, I just want to say something here, is that when we're doing webinars or talking on, video conferences, etc., a lot of times we tend to look at our own picture or the picture of the person. But it doesn't look like eye contact. So you have to look at the camera on top of your computer, and that makes it look like eye contact. It's not always possible, but whenever you can, just do that. All right, so save. So this is another way to package it for you so you can remember it, because I went over a lot of stuff earlier, but you probably won't be able to remember it. But see and save, if you can remember those two things, it would be really helpful. We talked about S is for speed and pace. We talked about it. Actions and gestures. A, volume, high volume. This is pretty simple, common sense. But a lot of us have a hard time with volume. We're not, high pitched, or we don't have like a high enough volume. We're soft spoken. So you have to do certain exercises. There are a lot of exercises that you can engage in that would help you with volume. I'm having trouble with my volume because today, because I have a bad throat. So I'm working really hard to amplify my volume. Also, when you have higher volume, even if you have a microphone, it exudes greater energy out, right? So that great energy, good energy out, good energy back in, it just creates for a great performance or great presentation. Oh, sorry. And expression, we talked about expression. Okay, so feel the emotion, whatever the emotion is, and have the expression. Save. All right, so let's go into the mindset. Mindset of presentation. A lot of us don't speak much or present or communicate much because of that mindset. Once your mindset changes, everything on the inside and the outside will change along with it. And here are the mindset shifts. Along with these mindset shifts, the reason why I'm sharing these is because it's part of nervousness management. And a lot of times, we try to do small little things, tactical things, but managing the fear, that nervousness, the hesitation, it's more at a grassroots level where making those bigger mindset changes will actually really have a profound impact on the way you present yourself to the world. All right, so maybe she is born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. I love that jingle, so I put it in here. Well, no, there's a purpose. When we see a good speaker up on stage, we think that maybe he is born with it, or maybe she's born with it. I could never do it. They're a natural. Well, no, 99% of good speakers are not born with it. They develop themselves into it over time by making mistakes, by practicing, by engaging more. They develop it. So if they can do it, you can do it. Always know it. We all start from where wherever we are, and then we go up. If you're ever hesitant, remember Minnie's story. I was not born with it. On the contrary, I was just so super duper shy, right? So remember that. If they can do it, you can do it. It's Maybelline, they're not born with it. Success is where preparation and opportunity meet. Now, preparation has two main parts. Preparing the content, right? Having really, really stellar content. Everything that needs to be in there should be in there for your audience. And also practice. Practice makes perfect. You can't, a lot of times my executive clients or even my private clients will come and tell me, Jyoti, I was working so hard on my presentation. It took up all the time and I didn't have any time to practice. I was working on it till 3 a.m. and now is my presentation. I said, what? You left the practice till the very end? No, we don't do it. So here are the two things. You start practicing and preparing the exact same day you find out you have to do a presentation, whether it's 2 weeks lapse of time, or you find out 2 days ahead, or you find out 2 months ahead, you start working on it right away. Then you want it, and your presentation doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be like 50% that. Even if you can just write the title of your presentation or 3 bullet points or 5 bullet points, it's absolutely okay. But you get something started. You're not leaving it for the last minute. The reason why I tell you not to leave it for the last minute is because it's nerve-wracking as it is. A lot of times, well, it's inbuilt in us, that fear, that nervousness, but a lot of times when we present, it's something important, right? So we don't want to leave it till the last minute. And as soon as you start writing those 3 bullets or just your topic sentence, you want to start practicing. It starts building confidence. And as you practice more ideas come through, and you can add that to the presentation. You can go back and you can change the whole presentation. That's fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. Practice, progress, not perfection. Remember that. So start exactly the day you find out. You can even take mentor notes in your phone. It's fine. So prepare. That will take care of 80% of the nervousness. Now, I cannot go into the details again of practicing and preparing. I think I'm going to do a webinar later on, and I'll share the details of that later. A lot of the things that, unfortunately, I can't go into the details, but we'll do other separate webinars just dedicated to that. Now, this is so important. This is part of the belief system. Now, you've practiced hard, you have worked hard, you have good content. Have that unshakable belief that what you are going to say to your audience is good. It's important. You have good knowledge. You have good experience. You are fantastic. Just believe that what you have to present to them is going to inform them or engage them or entertain them or inspire them, motivate them, or it will maybe provoke some thoughts. Have a purpose, but you put in your work, so everything is going to be great. Do not, I say this again, do not start questioning yourself last minute, right? We all tend to do it. So I saw your survey and then I see how seasoned all of you guys are. I'm like, oh my gosh, These people are really good. What am I going to tell them? But again, you're here because there's perhaps one or two things that I might be able to share that would help you. So never question yourself. Put in the work, put in the practice, and just believe. Once you have that belief, turn it into that concrete iron shield. Nothing can pierce through you and prick holes into your confidence, your self-esteem. You're good. You just need to have that mantra. Close your eyes, have that mantra. I'm really good. I've done a great job. I prepared. I'm going to do a fantastic job. That's your mantra. And along with that, you're going to project and you're going to visualize starting the first day that you start writing your speech also. You might be wondering, what do we do about impromptu speeches? Again, in the interest of time, I can't talk about that right now. But having this belief will help you with your impromptu speeches too. Okay, what if I forget? I have too much information to share. Yikes, what am I going to do? And that's a big fear. We all have that fear. So you're not alone, good thing. But the good thing is, first of all, you need to know your subject matter really well so that you're not memorizing it. I really do not recommend memorizing anything because of that fear, because then it takes away, it really increases the nervousness, and it takes away from your delivery, your good delivery. And also it takes away from the purpose, right? Like if you have to motivate them or if you have to inspire them or if you have to influence them, it takes away because the delivery is not that great. So a couple of things. We almost always, we have the ability to have a PowerPoint or some kind of a deck that we can use. And that is basically to keep us on track so that we don't have to memorize the whole flow or what the whole presentation is about. And then as there's a talking point, this is just a talking point reminding us, we can use it. If you don't have a PowerPoint to keep you on track, then you can have index cards just to remind you. There are a couple of memorization tricks, but I'm not going to go into them here because I really don't recommend memorizing. So don't worry, come with a PowerPoint. Also, again, remember audience attention is small. So they may not be able to, they may go in and out. So when you have something, at least a topic sentence here, they can kind of come back and remember what you're talking about, or at least be part of the conversation again. But what will people say about me? People are always saying something. So people are usually consumed with the one and most important topic, which is me, myself, and I, themselves, right? My project, my promotion, my kids, I don't know, my girlfriend, my boyfriend, my significant other, my lunch, my dinner. It's all about them, right? So even if they did say something in passing, or even they thought about it, first of all, you didn't hear it. And if they said something in passing, they'll forget it. You'll forget it. No, you will not forget it. They'll forget it. Don't worry about it. If anybody ever comes up to you and gives you feedback, you use that feedback as growth-worthy comments, right? You identify, you go deeper into it, and you ask some follow-up questions to figure out what exactly they didn't like about your presentation or what you could have made better. Well, your slides had too much on them. Okay, so next time I'm going to not put so much on my slides. Or I couldn't read the substance, or more energy, or more, I don't know, examples. Whatever it is, just use that to make it better. But do not let that bother you. Have thick skin. People will say it, they will move on, they'll forget. Again, remember, people are overly concerned about themselves, not about you. But you can use it as a growth-worthy opportunity for you. It's good. You're getting free feedback. That's amazing. All right, so did you say critical aspects we need to know about? Yes, I did say that. Audience. So I have alluded to that, or I've actually specifically mentioned that your audience is one of the most important aspects of your speech or your conversation, right? The conversation has to be tailored to your audience. Most of the times we don't do that, and then the whole message is completely diluted or not easily absorbed, or the message doesn't do what it needs to be done. Understand who your audience is, their demographics, what's in it for them, why are they here, what do you need to do for them, how can you serve them, how can you change your message so that it's actually their speak. Again, finance person talking to a marketing person needs to change it, and vice versa, so that you can effectively communicate to them. Meet your audience where they are. Don't ask them to meet you where you are, because when you are speaking to them, usually you are going to have a motive, right? You're speaking for a reason, and you want that to happen. The only way you can make that happen is if you speak in your audience's language. So that's critical, critical, critical. A lot of people don't talk about it. I'm glad I saw that in your surveys also. So please, this is very important. There are a lot of things we do, again, in our programs and our courses to work with the audience, but this is just a highlight of it. Stories, include stories. These are very important. They liven things up. Stories live on forever. They're relatable, they're believable, they're emotive, they're inspiring. They can take one small topic, but then expand it. I could have given you that example of teamwork and say teamwork will allow you to create great projects, or I use that example of Amazon Prime, which somebody else actually used in a talk. And I remembered it so much and I love it so much that I use it in my conversations. Stories can absolutely be used and can be used in work situations too. But you have to tailor the stories based on what you do and based on who your audience is. So how are you feeling? Write down below in the comments. Are you ready to conquer your fears and your challenges? Yay, I am. Let me hear it. Are you ready to reap those rewards and raises, get those raises and promotions? Let's see what you have to say. Ready, I love it. Yay, I'm ready. Yes, yes, I love it. This is fantastic. Kind of, all right, come on. The person who said kind of ready, you are ready. Come on, you can do it. All right. My husband just texted me best of luck. That's nice. Just a little too late. All right, so that's like the personal aspect. I'm a human, right? Okay. 1 second. Now, I want you to write down 2 things that jumped out for you in this training. Like something that resonated with you or jumped out or something new, or maybe just made more sense. You knew it always, but it just made sense. And then 2 things that you're going to commit to yourself that you're going to do it. Maybe identify 2 areas where you're going to speak more. Come up with 2 topics where you're going to speak. Maybe you're going to start engaging in more conversations. Maybe you're going to have more meaningful water cooler conversations. That's another topic. I couldn't get into it, but water cooler conversations can actually be so productive. So what are 2 things that you're going to do for yourself that will really help you take yourself to the next level? See, you are here. You're a busy person. You're here for a reason, because you have identified that this is the area where you can get better, right? We're not here just to kill time and to be just here, have some sound bites in the background. We're here to take ourselves to the next level. What are we gonna do? I also want you to write down like what new places can you speak in your community. Everything is practice. It doesn't have to be just work. At work, maybe at the diversity and inclusion group, at the women's group, at the men's group, at the technology group, at the finance group, wherever you can speak more. Please write down where can you speak more. And I want you to bring that with you. And here's a deadline. You're going to try to book these for yourself by January 30th. You're welcome to tell me where you spoke more. January 30th is your deadline to identify those places and get booked with dates. You don't have to get paid, it's fine to speak, but you're going to speak there. And understand also what is the projected value when you accomplish this task, and what would be the pain if you didn't do it. Will you not get that raise, that promotion? Will you not be recognized? Will people not know the amazing work you're doing? Will people not know what you're an expert at? Now, what can you do to become the best speaker and communicator to maximize your success potential? What are some of the other resources I can offer you to help you with that? Well, for adults, I have a very transformative mastermind course. This course you can take from anywhere. You don't have to be close to me. This is an online course, but it's very different from other online courses. And I'll go into that in a second. A lot of us are parents. There's a course also for your kids. There's another that's a mastermind course, and the kids just come out with flying colors. Now, this course, let me just tell you a little bit about this course. It covers all 3 formats. Many times these courses are just about presentation skills or public speaking or just communication skills. This course that I just talked about, that mastermind, covers all 3 of those areas. And what it is, of course, like online training, there are video training modules which you can view, which walk you through step by step through a lot of best practices, strategies, techniques, and pro tips, not only from my experience, but from the experience of a lot of other people. But the beauty of this course is that you can't learn a skill just by viewing videos, right? A lot of online training is just that. If I asked you to go learn skiing or swimming just by watching YouTube videos, will you learn it? No, you need to do it. So in this course, you meet on Zoom video, and we all see everybody. So it's a small class. It's like 10 people or so. You see your people, you see your coach or your instructor, and you practice every class. There are different types of courses, speeches you practice. There's impromptu speaking, there is prepared speaking, there is motivational speaking, there's persuasive speaking, there is speaking also speeches that we can tailor to your work situation. Jyoti, I have a pitch for a client. Jyoti, I have a VC presentation coming up, or my board is coming and I need to present to cross-functional teams. Can we work on that? We'll work on that. So it's very, very customized. And then there's customized coaching, because there is a coach in every session. And you constantly practice. Like every week we meet for 2 hours, you practice and you get better. And then it's a mastermind. It's not just an online course. It's not just coaching. There's a mastermind. What that means is there are all these other very seasoned professionals, kind of like yourself, and we can learn from each other. The learning and the development just is exponential when we learn from each other. Again, the power of teamwork. There is accountability and there is personalized feedback. Again, a lot of courses, it's big classes or it's just YouTube videos. You don't get any feedback. Here, your coach is giving you exactly personalized feedback just for you, and there's accountability. You can't just not show up. If you don't show up, you can buy a course, you can invest in something, but if you don't do it, you don't get better, right? You show up, you prepare, and you do it. Because now you're here because you've identified that this is a need. This is where your skills can get better. This is where you've identified a hole in your personal or professional life, right? Are we out of time?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the time. So it looks like we may not get to questions, but what I'll do for our alumni that have asked questions of Jyoti, I will pass those along. And Jyoti, perhaps if you have time, you could follow up with some of our alumni individually. I also want to remind everyone that this webinar today has been recorded and will be posted to our YouTube page. Usually it takes about a week. And thank you to our alumni. I'm seeing so many great side conversations happening in our chat boxes. You're sharing experiences, advice, and it's really nice to see the alumni community coming together and helping each other out. So Jyoti, any last words before we wrap up here?
Thank you so much. I'm just quickly going to wrap up in 30 seconds. Guys, this is how you can access that course. Just take a picture of it. Just take a picture. This is how you access the kids course. And then $100 from the adults course will go to MIT as a donation. Take a picture. There are success stories I didn't go through. We do lunch and learns with work. Okay, these are some free resources. There's a free course on how to speak in confidence. It's only half an hour. You should all go through that. Take a picture of it and you can reach it. These are some of the free webinars that are coming up that I'll be doing outside. And take a picture, just register for them and I'll send you the details. So I'll just stop here for you to take a picture of this. And this is how you can connect with me if you need to. Take a picture of that. So that, and I'm very happy. I'm here just to help you guys become great communicators because it's all inside of us. You have amazing potential. Just start speaking more, practice. We all get better with each presentation and communication. Again, please reach out to me with any kind of questions. I'm so excited that you're here. Erin, thank you so much for inviting me. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jyoti. All right, guys, thank you so much again for joining, and can't thank you enough, Jyoti, for sharing your expertise.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us. And for more information on how to connect with the MIT Alumni Association, please visit our website.